such a bizarre out of nowhere story. And of course, it just leads to mind when you consider what Project Veritas does, what James O'Keefe has been kind of responsible for in breaking news that other people would not break, going undercover, doing that stuff. He's facilitated this kind of company that has grown as it is. But out of nowhere, we learned that he's now on paid leave because there's let's say an internal struggle right now. And I'm going to read this for Blaze. Founder and chairman of Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, is now on paid leave with the organization's board, considering removing him from the leadership role, according to a report by New York Magazine, claiming to have spoken to current and former employees. The report states that Project Veritas employees were sent an internal message by the organization's executive director, Daniel Strack, which stated that James O'Keefe was taking a few weeks of well-deserved paid time off. The message was allegedly seen by the outlet and later confirmed by a current employee at Project Veritas. The alleged message said that the company was in a distracting time, mentioning that 2 Project Veritas executives had been reinstated who were allegedly fired by James O'Keefe. So that's where it gets weird. Reporters contacted O'Keefe via his personal cell phone, but the investigative journalist declined to comment on calls or text messages, which that's probably lawyers are involved. You know, when something like this happens, lawyers are involved. They're probably saying, hey, let's get this thing situated. Don't say nothing to nobody. Strack later released a statement saying that, like all newsrooms at this stage, Project Veritas boards of directors and management are constantly evaluating the best path forward for the organization. There are 65 plus employees at Project Veritas dedicated to continuing the mission to expose corruption, dishonesty, waste, fraud, yada, yada, yada. To our supporters, we hear you, we care about you, we will never give up. A different report claims that a third of the company's employees wrote an internal memo claiming that O'Keefe had been particularly mean to workers. What the hell does that be? I would describe Project Veritas' current environment with the saying, the beatings will continue until morale improves, yada, yada, yada. There's nothing important here. The reports are that some employees, like, it's not like anything that he's done that's criminal from what we've picked up so far, right? It's been some employees and maybe executives even are saying that he's hard to work with, which you always hear that about the guy in charge, because the guy in charge, for the most part, when you start getting in those bigger numbers, this is why you always have to watch it. And this is really what I'm going to center in on with this conversation. But as you start to get bigger in numbers, you got to get these like coups that try to build up. And if you don't, and really what James O'Keefe is suffering from is that, well, it's the corporate structure of Project Veritas. Obviously, there is no Project Veritas, and some of you would agree, without James O'Keefe. But considering their corporate situation, they have board of directors that maybe allow him to, even if he didn't think it was going to happen, oust him up out of the fact, and that's always the danger. It's always the danger. So, but to what we picked up so far, right, he's been hard to work with, right? He's been mean, but nothing like criminal, right? Nothing like that. It's just that, look, when you the head honcho, sometimes you're going to be the bad guy. That's just what it is. That's the way that it is, especially if you are a guy that has expectations. It's like Jim Shooter with Marvel Comics. People kind of, or I have certainly gained a newfound respect for that man after the fact. Even though he facilitated pretty much the most successful era of Marvel Comics, considering the actual books. And however, when he was working, it was always said, same thing. He was hard to work with. He was hard to work with. He was, and it more so came from the fact that, well, he had deadlines. He had expectations of his employees. But that's the same. It's not necessarily saying anything. And look, I'm not going to say, I don't know. I've never met, wait a minute. Have I? I don't think so. I don't think I've met James O'Keefe. I feel like there was some place that we were both at, but I don't think I've met him. So I can't speak to like who he is, his personality, and obviously the guys that are inside. Look, man, is he an asshole? Maybe. I don't know. But what this is a lesson in business. It's a lesson in business, man. Don't grow your business too fast and watch your ass, okay? Wash your ass, but also watch your ass. Again, what seems to have happened here is the structure of Project Veritas. The fact that, and this to me is crazy, but most businesses are built like this these days, definitely as they get bigger. And that is that they have boards and they can get you up out of there, even if you are the founder of the freaking company, which to me is insane. I can't imagine having a business like that, but I understand kind of with the corporate setup, tax benefits, investments. I understand how the donos work. I understand why people are incentivized to have such a corporate structure. Couldn't be me. I could not imagine like my guys in the Riververse saying, yeah, our board of directors said you're gone. Good luck. That can't happen. That can't happen, man. Watch yourself, man. Like on a serious note, watch yourself. You don't ever want to grow too fast, and don't ever think that, and it sucks that it has to be this way, but you can't ever think like, hey, I'm going to set these guys up to try to get more input and all this stuff, and it's going to help with the vision. We're not going to have an echo chamber. I'm going to give these guys a little bit of power, and you think, well, you're doing it in good faith, and they're going to be doing it in good faith. Apparently, there's been guys that have been working for this company that have been working with CNN. It almost seems like it was a mole kind of situation, inside job type situation, and it may be. I don't know. I have no idea. But when you have setups as such, they can get you up out of there legally. That's just the setup of the situation. And you get risky. I know, if you got friends, you got people that you think, hey, man, these are your bros. Y'all doing business together. We're trying to expose all this corruption, all of that. I get it. And the next thing you know, things are going smooth, right? And then it's not. So we'll see what more comes out of it. James has been silent, which, again, it's more probably lawyer stuff, telling them like, hey, shut up. And we'll see what happens out of that. But there is seemingly, let me say that the paid leave was not like something that he took, it seems like. It seems more of, okay, they forced him or coerced him into taking this as they try to figure out what the hell is going on. There's some sort of internal struggle. What exactly it is, we'll get more information. But there is, no matter what comes out of it, maybe it's all good. They try to work it out at the end, whatever. But there is something to learn. If you are your founder of your company, man, keep it tight to the chest. Keep it tight to the chest. Wherever you're viewing the content, I appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, you may be interested in my comic book company, Riververse Comics. Our first book and campaign, ISOM #1, brought in $3.7 million with tens of thousands of satisfied customers. Visit riververse.com to check out our store and stay up to date with the latest campaigns from one of the hottest new comic book companies. Also, my first big step towards a parallel economy was the development of my personal website, ericdjuly.com. This entirely replaced my Patreon. Now, if you enjoy this content, please consider becoming a member over at the website. We have an ever-expanding list of perks for various membership tiers, a forum, and a phone app. Some of these perks will even benefit you if you're fans of the Rippaverse. Anyway, I appreciate you so much for being a supporter and or customer. I even got a little love for my haters.